Misses the bonus for that combination as well as an extra D.
Not only will she not win the uneven bars, she won't medal in it in all probability. Here's a young lady that could, Christy Henrich.
Christy has had an outstanding meet through the all-around competition as well as the event finals so far. This is a good, strong event for her. Hop to reverse grip, a front giant, very difficult move, into a back giant, full pirouette. She was having trouble with that in warm-ups. She made it now, and again, a reverse hex. Toe on handstand. She's really showing a good variety of skills here. Giant swing, another giant swing, and again, a tuck double flyaway. Good solid routine showing good difficulty.
Solid indeed for Christy Henrich, who you'll remember finished second in the all-around competition 2 weeks ago.
Since most of the girls are doing a relatively simple dismount, the goal here is to stick the landing. And most of the girls have had that little bitty hop, and you can't give that away in World Championships.
So Christy Henrich scores 9.687. And as the final competitor, that's good for a second-place finish. But a birthday girl, Shelley Stack, who turned 16 years old today, is the winner of the uneven bars. Brandy Johnson, a disappointing fifth. Shelley now gets ready for her final event, the floor exercise, while Brandy Johnson has a chance at 2 more gold medals. She'll be competing in the floor exercise and the balance beam. The U.S. Gymnastics Championships continue from Bloomington, Minnesota. And Kathy Johnson, this is Don Cricky back at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Earlier, Scott Keswick, a former junior national all-around champion, excelled on the ring.
And this was certainly a very big moment for Scott Keswick. He placed 13th in the all-around, but a 9.725 in the rings gave him the gold there. Janie Humphrey was second with a 9.675, and he used an incredible dismount, a full-in pike back out, beautiful finish. Third place on the rings went to Tim Ryan, the all-around champion, as he used an incredible Maltese cross, and he lowered through to a terrific combination here. This is a whip it right to an L cross. Tim Ryan still looking for his first individual title in today's event finals.
But on the rings, where you ain't got a thing if you ain't got that swing, Scott Keswick was the best, followed by Janie Humphrey and Tim Ryan. Judging is always a matter of great concern for the competitors and their coaches alike. Bart had a chance to address that subject with one of the experts in it.
Always a controversial subject in the sport of gymnastics, of course, is the judging. What is a perfect 10? Is it perfect, or is it just the best performance of the day? Well, the scores currently, and certainly the new rules, are allowing for lots of separations among the gymnasts. A 9-9 can now be beaten by 8 other gymnasts because the scores now divide out to 125 ten-thousandths of a point. The scoring, of course, and the judging has always been very controversial, and certainly Muriel Grossfeld, as a 3-time Olympian and now an internationally rated judge. Your thoughts, first of all, on the scoring in Seoul?
I agreed with some of it, and I violently disagreed with some of the other of it.
Well, there was a lot of talk about a need for new rules and rules changes. That has been done.
The United States has, I think, through Jackie 5, provided a lot of leadership in trying to make things more exact. We now have special requirements for each of the gymnastics events with a specific deduction. We now have many, many more skills listed with precise points that we award to them. We have more judges on the floor. She's provided, I think, very good leadership in trying to make the sport a little more fair.
And with that in mind, let's look back to some tape from Seoul. This is Yelena Shushinova, the brilliant Olympic all-around champion. Score this vault.
Somewhere between 9.8 and 9.9, approximately.
Once again, when we take a look at it, your technical comments on it.
In the beginning of the vault, we can see a little bit of a lack of form. We can see a little casting to her left. We can see a little off balance on the landing, so it's not totally unbalanced, and we can see her listing back to her right.
Okay, now to complete this train of thought, she scored a perfect 10 on that in Seoul.
Thank you.
Yes? What are we going to do about that? Are 10s perfect?
I don't think the meaning of a 10 means that you're seeing perfection. I think a 10 is one of the tools that we use to rank gymnasts. I think a perfect example is to go back to the original Big Ten, which was Nadia Comaneci on uneven bars back in Montreal in the '76 Olympics. Based on the competitor scores previous to Nadia, I thought she should have gotten about a 10-3 or 4 or 5. But there were 3 very big flaws in that exercise. The 10 represented a ranking, not a perfection.
So the ranking is the most important element, not necessarily the perfect score.
I would like, as a judge, to be able to perform both services, but when that isn't practical or possible, the most important thing is to rank the gymnast properly.
Thank you, Muriel.
And we'll see how the judges decide on the performance of Brandy Johnson on the balance beam. That's coming up next. We're back at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships in Bloomington, Minnesota. There is great jeopardy for every competitor on the balance beam. Even the best can lose it at any time. Let's go back now and watch Cheryl Dundas a short time ago.
And Cheryl was steady throughout the routine. Even going up early in the lineup, she set the pace with a solid routine, scoring a 9.575. She finished with 2 flip-flops into a double twisting layout dismount.
And while Cheryl was very good, Christy Henrich, who was up next, was even better.
And a very courageous young lady she is. She came back from a near career-ending injury that occurred at the USA-USSR meet at the end of April. It was on this event that she fell on a dismount, breaking a vertebra in her back. But she's back and continued here to show her consistency. She's been steady throughout the entire competition. This is her 3rd event in finals, and steady as can be. She opted here to do a little bit easier dismount, took out the double back, does a nice double twist, and scored a 9.675 to take the lead.
Christy Henrich, an inspiring comeback story, goes over to head coach Al Fong. And now the favorite, Brandy Johnson, knows the number she has to beat to win again.
For most gymnasts, beating a 9.675 would be a tall order. She's very capable of that. Particularly in recent times, she's become so confident on this event. The nice original move, a Diamondov. Two switch leg leaps in a row, fulfilling her gymnastics series requirement. 2 dance elements right in a row. This is a critical pass for her. Back handspring, layout, step out, solid as a rock. She has really worked hard on this event. And this is what usually makes or breaks a gymnast. Balance beam.
Kathy, she's so powerful here. You think that power is an advantage in the acrobatic skills?
Oh, very definitely. The judges are looking for good height on all the different skills, and she definitely has it. Front tuck somersault. This is one of my favorite combinations coming up. It's her Gym Acro series, a gainer layout right into a caisson. Beautifully done. Again, fulfilling that special requirement. And the dismount, a round off, double tuck. Beautiful routine. Excellent. And keep in mind, she's come back from a slight mishap on the uneven bars, which is very difficult to do.
Coaches Kevin and Rita Brown as ecstatic as Brandy. A spectacular display, all performed in an apparatus just 4 inches wide.
This is a great view. This is what the gymnast sees, and you can see how straight they have to be. Legs, body, arms, perfectly in line with the balance beam. Brandy is just dead center. This is a gorgeous double back dismount. She actually kicks out a little right there to make the landing.
And that underlines a superb performance on the balance beam for Brandy Johnson. Look at the judges' score, 9.837. She wins again. 2 championships in 3 individual events today. Following Brandy Johnson on the balance beam were Christy Henrich and Cheryl Dundas. 1 event to go for Brandy Johnson, the floor exercise, and perhaps 1 more gold medal to be won. Bloomington, Minnesota.